Bachman and Turner, Let It Ride. This is a CVT bass lesson for Mike. Mike, great song. The production of this version, which was live at the Roseland Ballroom in New York City. Production's great, man. I could see why you picked it, because for one, sometimes the bass gets lost, you know. In songs, it's hard to hear it. You know, I think of AC/DC sometimes, you know, I'll listen, I'm like, where's the bass? And I got a good ear, you know, and it's in there, but sometimes it's just, with this production, they boosted it a little bit. I still got a little buzz going on the bass here. I'm going to have to take this in and have it worked on a little bit, but if you hear it, which you probably will, you'll see what I mean. So the tuning for this is standard, and 11 seconds in, we got the intro. Now, one thing I need to ask you is, do you play with a pick or fingers? I could do both, but we never discussed it. Now, fingers is going to be more muty. Pick is going to be a more attack, a little more trebly. So I'm going to use a pick for the lesson. But when you look at your tabs, if you see a downstroke followed by an upstroke, that means it's quicker, because we're dealing with tabs, right? So we're not doing, you know, bass staff. But the cool thing is, you know, you can pull up the song for reference if you're struggling. But that means it's faster, okay? And I only put it on those parts where it's quicker. All right, so really good stuff. The first thing you're going to hear is, I just call it the intro. It's a few notes. 7A, slide to 12, slide back down. Don't be so precise on it. It's more of a, you know, that vibe. You don't have to start on 7. You can start on 5. I mean, it's not critical. You can pass the 12th fret. Don't stop on any note. Keep the finger moving. It's the effect of the slide that you want. And then 2E, 4E, and 5E. And then section 1 kicks in at 14 seconds, and this is the main hook here. 2, 4 on the A to an open D, and then, you know, your lines and your tabs tell you there's a short rest. And then 2 open A, and then you'll have open 4, 5 on the A, and then 2 D. I'd try to follow these fingerings. It's pretty much what he's using. When I do these CVTs, I'll look for I'll try to look what fingers are using and make sure I got the right note on the right string. And there's a reason for that. It's usually simplicity, but it is changeable. It's not etched in stone. You can change these. You just wouldn't want to use one finger to do all that, right? So we have, and then open 4D, and then on the A string, 4, open, and 2. Yeah, I gotta adjust this A string higher. 2A, 4A, and then open D. So cool little turnaround. 2, 4, D. Well, you're gonna do 2, 4 on the A, open D, and then 2, 4 on the D string as well, to 2 on the E, and then 4E, open A. So da 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 da. And then that's section 1. You'll do that 3 times. 3rd time, no star. So the 3rd time at the end, as you're approaching it, it's you take off the last 3 notes. Okay, instead of that, we're going right into this really cool groove at 38 seconds in. Section 2, it goes. Let's see. Sounds like metal, huh? You know what I mean? So 2E, then open, open 2, and that's where you're gonna see down, up, down, because it's quicker. It's a triplet, triple lit. So open, open 2 again. So we have, and then go 2 open, and on the E, and then 2, 4 on the A, and that's alternate pick. Down, up, down, up. do that 9 times. Okay, double dots in music means to repeat. So I put the double dots, you go back to the first set of those. Because this is the first full song you've had me do for you, Mike. So, but on your key and glossary, it shows that stuff. So any of those techniques, if you get confused, you could of course message me, text me, or just look on your key and glossary. So your main groove there is that 9 times, and then at the end of the 9th one, you'll be going. Let's see. So 2nd fret, down, 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 up, or wait, see, down, 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 up, and then open, down, up, down, 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 up. Connected together. And that follows the guitar exactly as far as beat placement. It's about that fast. Series of repeats. The next new part is section 3 at 2 minutes 17 seconds. And this is the rhythm behind the solo. As a matter of fact, the prior sections, like 1 minute 55 in the section 2, that's actually the rhythm behind the solo as well. One thing I wanted to say, Mike, and I know I got the vibe from talking to you, you know, this is your 3rd CVT, I believe, about exacting this. In like section 1, for example, the last section we did, he will change a few little end notes in parts. Keep them the same for right now, just keep them solid. I'd rather you have the consistency and keep it solid than worry about, whoa, there's 3 notes and they're different than the last 3 the last time. They're not game changers, they're just fillers, different notes in the scales, because you got multiple notes you can choose from. Alright, so, but anyways, this is going to be during the solo, probably mid through, and it's on the A string. You're going to go. So 2A, 5A, and you can hear the pauses there, and then it speeds up on this part. There'll be no lines in your tabs. 4-2A, 5-4-2 on the E. And those are just notes out of a standard F minor scale. I mean, that F minor scale is, oops, 7 notes in the standard scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that's the octave, which means it's the same note. All right, so he's just playing, you know, particular notes descending in the F sharp minor scale. Then go 4E, open A. Okay, I tried to get some of the exacts in here. When you hit that open A, go down, down, up, and then go 2-4-2. And I'm sorry about the buzzing. I know it's clear enough for you to hear it, but I will have this fixed before your next CVT. So we have. Really cool here. After you do the, okay, that's kind of the downbeat of the next part. There's a pause. Then you're going to go 4-5-A, 2-4-2 on the D, and then 5-A, and then 2-E. So it's one thing I wanted to explain too. When you're doing some of these bigger stretches, your thumb becomes important. People forget about that, even guitar players. The lower your thumb is behind the neck, the bigger stretch you can get. You can use it as a pivot as well, so you don't always have to be moving your hand, which can make it choppy, right? So keep that in mind. Another point is, if you can leave a finger down sometimes, why not? For example, that little part I just showed you, those 7 notes. Watch right here. When I go to the D string, I'm going 2-4-2. Well, since I know I have to go back to that 2nd fret, which is the E note, I could leave it down and just go. Think about one finger rather than and have to worry about getting it back down. But sometimes it's just, it flows to lift the finger, but I want you to be mentally aware of that. You know, consciously aware of it, I should say. Okay, then when you hit that 2nd fret, finally got a rest here again. 4E, and then on the E string here, 5, 4, 2 open. And then 2 minutes 26 seconds in. You'll go 2A, short rest. Man, that buzz is bad. 4 times on that. And then 5, 4. And then go 2E. Okay, so 2E, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5 on the E, and it's slowed down there. You'll see your rests. On the A, 2, 4, 2. Once again, you can leave the index or lift. If you lift, don't lift it too far though. And then 4 hits on that second fret, and then go 5, 4. So it's just like the last one. 2E, and then 4, 5. So 5, 4, 2 open. Just a descending scale. Back to the 2A, rest 4 times. 5, 4, 2 on the E, 4, and 5. Okay, then you're going to go to the A string, 2, 4, 2. And then check this one out. You'll go 2, 4, 5 on the A. Probably one of the trickier parts, to 4D. Follow that fingering. And then 2 open on the D. So that whole riff would be, if I can find it. Back to the E string, 2, 4, 5. First 3 notes of the F sharp minor scale. Root, second, and the flatted third is what that is. On the A string, 2, 4, 2. Rest, and then here we go again on the A string. 4 times on the second fret, and then 5, 4, and then 2E. Okay, short rest, and then on the E string, 2, 2, 5, 4, 2, 4. Back to the 2A, so it's, let's see. Back to the 2A, once, rest, and then 3 times. And that's it. The rest is all repeats. The very end, you're coming out of section 2, which section 2 is that cool metal sounding groove, right? That part. You do that 4 times, 4th time no star, so which is fine. That's what you just heard. And then end it with open E and 2E. That's an E and an F sharp note. Just go down up. If you're using your fingers, you would want to use 2 as opposed to 1. You wouldn't want to go. Or, I mean, you could, but it flows more with 2. Anyways, all right, Mike. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you. You're bringing a little breath of fresh air in the sense that you're really my only CVT bass student. I have actually, I was thinking about it, I have had a few other bass lessons. I know Jason's had a few bass CVTs, but he's a guitar player that also happens to play bass. I have a feeling you're strictly a guitar or strictly a bass player. So, picking some good stuff, dude. I hope this is really helping you. And yeah, soak this stuff up, man, for 3-4 weeks. Work on all the stuff I sent you, and when you're ready, hit me up, man. We'll get you going. I'm excited to see what you got for me next. All right, take care, buddy.